Testing, testing. Hopefully the mic is on. I see the sound levels are going. The screen is up. How's everyone's evening tonight? Welcome to another Zero Pro Studio stream. It's the Jet Stream. I don't know why, the video is glitching up there, but I have a little video pulled up. I've put it up on the stream so you can see where I am scrubbing in it, but I've got it full screen up on the other monitor here. But as you can see, I am going to be having a little fun today. Hello, Gavin. Yo. But it's something I've been itching to try for a long time. I never quite had much I never felt like I had the skill set required to do this particular game, challenge thing, whatever you call it. But I want to do a Bob Ross painting. Why Bob Ross today? There's no real reason. I don't know what size his canvases are. I'm gonna say 9x12 seems like a standard size, so I'm gonna go with that. It's a little small. He definitely paints on something bigger than 9x12, but I think like what do you call it? The dimensions are probably the same. I could probably go up to 16x20. That's a little more squat. Maybe what's another size? No, maybe that is the size that he's painting on. On the video, it looks a little narrower, but I think that's just because it's on an angle. In any case, yeah, I'm gonna do my best. This is just for fun. Literally, it's like I don't know why I'm doing it today. I just kind of wanted a break from Pokemon families for no particular reason. And I thought, you know what? This sounds like fun. Hello, Tails! Your acest friend is here. Should have called either the Garbage Man or the 1 a.m. Wonder. Hoi, Foxy, Gavin, Tails, everyone's here. Alright, well, I haven't actually watched through this video completely. I don't know if you're supposed to watch through it first, but I'm gonna hit play. And hopefully I feel like I need to have Bob talking to me while I do this, so he can explain what to do. But that means hopefully I can talk over him. You guys won't be able to hear him. He's only talking to me. He's speaking directly to me. So, of course, he always covers his palette with liquid white paint to begin with. And that's the whole trick to the Bob Ross style, is using oil paints on a wet surface, wet on wet. And whenever people don't do that, they either use acrylics or they don't cover their canvas first, like they just use a dry canvas. I always cringe a little, because it's like you can't do it. It's just impossible to do it properly without that. Acrylics you can probably get through, but you have to treat it slightly different. Bob paints really fast though, so acrylic might even work. So he's taking the phthalo blue. I think phthalo blue is a little... It's a little warm. No, is it? I don't know what phthalo blue is. It's really pretty blue though. I think it's not as warm as ultramarine. It's not as cool as cobalt. I'm gonna put it slightly in the middle. And he literally just grabs pure phthalo, which I don't think I can do in digital. I have to dilute it with something. Oh my goodness, that's so dark. Okay. So he's already talking about how it mixes with the liquid white in the canvas, which isn't working for me because also an additional level of challenge is I'm using clip. Oops, already I'm doing something weird. Why did it rotate? Can I make it go back? I'm not the, like, you know, most versed in how to use Clip Studio, so I'm pretty much just using this one brush, and I'm gonna see how far it can get me. This is one of the default oil brushes that it comes with. Alright. And let me see if I have any other brushes that I can use while he goes into that. I want a softer brush, but I don't know how to get one, so. But he's got a bit of blending going on here in the middle. Me, never prepping a canvas before I start. Prep what? Tails, do you paint? I didn't know you did oils. And there is definitely different styles of oil painting. You don't always have to, you know, prep, but the Bob Ross style always has you painting wet on wet. It's just how it makes the nice smooth blending that he does. I'm gonna make my brush a lot smaller. Maybe that's too small. And just kind of... I'm not getting the natural, soft blending that he gets because my paint isn't technically wet. But I'm gonna simulate it with a little... He's beaten the devil out of his... Oh, he put some green into his, so it's a little cooler. Let me see if I can lighten that up. It's too much. Put some of that in there. I'm gonna be playing with the opacity. I think opacity is gonna be a big help in this. I'm trying to go with the video without pausing it. I might pause it to read chat now and then, but you know, Bob Ross was a TV personality. His show came on national TV, and he would talk directly to you while you're in your home, and he always talked as if you're like sitting there with a canvas and paint and just ready to go. And it's like, I don't know anyone who did that. All the videos that I see where they're like following Bob Ross, they usually pause the video a lot, and he goes very fast. Oh wow, okay, he's already moved on to clouds. Let me try to blend out some of this. Make this a little softer down here. Yeah, I have my brush down to I think 4% opacity right now, and I'm just sampling that. Okay, so let's put some clouds in there. I'm gonna up to 100% opacity. Lifting a cloud. That thing that he does where he just like gently brushes over everything and it moves the paint around. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I don't know how to simulate that in digital. Oh, his sky comes way lower. He's describing the colors that he's pulling. And I'm not listening to him, so I don't really know what color he's getting. But I heard the word alizarin crimson. I assume he's going in with his mountain. I picked this video to start with because it's a very... I don't know what to say, a classic. It's a classic Bob Ross in that it's pretty standard mountain sky tree. And I thought that would be a good starting place. Okay, yeah, he's going in with the mountain. I'm gonna pause it right in here, and I'm gonna catch up with the chat. Sorry guys, I always bring the canvas to the left. I'm gonna try and be good and keep it on the right side so it doesn't get covered. But hey Gavin, hey Foxy, hey Tails, Zero's personal muse, Bob Ross. It's funny, I never actually watched Bob Ross in my youth. It wasn't until like way later when it became a trend to like do Bob Ross paintings, and like all of his videos are basically on YouTube now that I started watching a few. But it's very relaxing. It's great to see you too. Yes, somebody who finally called me Gavin and not Gavin. The E in my username is actually the first letter of my last name. It's Gavin E. Interesting. Me, never prepping canvas. Gotta mix those colors. Oh no, not anymore. No space for such a messy thing. It's messy because I always make a mess. No, Tails, even if you know exactly what you're doing and you like are as clean as possible, oil paint gets everywhere and it's ridiculous. I usually only draw ink, trace, and use color pencil for my pictures. I suck at digital even though I got a tablet, so I need to learn how to use it. I mean, digital is just the same as any tool. If you do oils, you can't just jump into watercolor. There's a lot of skill sets that sort of blend, like, you know, cross-pollinate, but there are specific techniques that you gotta learn for each, and it's the same with digital. I'm doing a lot of stuff that it like would be so much easier. Well, basically it's not looking great right now because I'm trying to copy Bob's oil paint technique with digital, and what I should be doing is using my digital powers, because there are certain things that I can do in the digital sphere to like make it look more like what he's doing, but because I don't know how to use clip and I'm trying to follow the video without like pausing too much, I don't have the time to like look for where the gradient tool is or where the softer brushes are. In Photoshop, I even made a brush that was basically the gradient tool, but in a brush form so that I could control it more. Let's see. Hopefully Mouse can teach me some tricks. You just gotta reach into the computer and edge it a bit. Just enter the digital space. My cat is laying on me. Cute! Fire Dragon X23 is here. Hello, Fire Dragon. Alright, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna grab some of this color, and I'm going to plop some in up here and over here. While I have it still paused. I know I said I'm gonna try and pause as little as possible, but since I have it, I might as well just try to catch up a little bit. He put some clouds up here, and then he put some clouds over here. He's got this like amazing sort of push technique that he does with his big 2-inch brush, and the bristles kind of give you just an automatic texture. that you can probably simulate by having custom brushes in Clip and Photoshop and stuff. But since I don't have those, I'm I'm literally just going in with one tool right now. But okay, I think I can't see the rest of that cloud, so I'm just gonna guesstimate. That's sort of how it goes. And the thing with the Bob paintings is he always says, like, they don't, the clouds and the trees don't have to be exactly where he puts them. That's just, this is your world. You can decide where the clouds and trees live. He's giving you the tools to create your own pieces. Even if you try to do it exactly how he does it, it's gonna be a little different. Okay, I'm gonna hit play, and I should probably save, actually. Let me do this while paused, because this isn't something that he has to do. Let's see, Bob Ross. Let's just throw that on the desktop for now. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day, and if you're not, I hope your day will pick up from here or wind down, or that tomorrow will treat you better. And I've had a pretty busy day myself. I could have done a Pokemon family today, but I kind of wanted to switch things up a bit, and I couldn't think of anything, and I was like, oh, Tails was like, you should do some painting, and I'm like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to do a Bob Ross on digital. I've never tried it before. This is literally my first time trying it. When you're a content creator, you should probably test things before you, like, throw it into the public, but I'm not a professional. Okay. I'm gonna hit play. Should I keep... I kind of want to... It's like too white down here, you know? There's nothing... I wish I had a softer brush. I'm gonna actually fill the rest of this with white, because I'm realizing, actually, that this brush that I'm using, in fact, I'm gonna select the whole layer under it. I'm gonna fill it with white, just like Bob Ross has, and then I'm gonna combine that. So now there's actually white here, because what I was doing before, the white was just the paper color, and it was so on this layer it was transparent. So when I painted on it, it wasn't blending because there actually wasn't anything for it to blend. So I actually, that's something that I was talking about earlier. It's like, oh, make sure that you have liquid white or wet paint on your canvas before you start, because that's the whole thing with Bob's technique. And then I forgot that Clip needs you to have something there. So that was me not taking my own advice, because I didn't think it applied to digital, but it did. It did. It's still not blending though. Let me lower the opacity. Just kind of smooth it out. There's a way to change how much the paint grips and how much it like mixes when you paint around in digital with the brushes. I'm not sure where that setting is, but I think this brush is still fine. It's kind of ugly down here, but he's covering it up with a mountain anyway, so I'm not too worried. Okay, gonna save and hit play. Let's go, Bob. You've got this really black color, but it's not pure black, so I'm keeping it in the colorful areas, and I'm gonna make it a little bit cool, like close to blue but still in the purple. I don't know how far up on the canvas he is. I feel like my water is too low, but it's up to where the mountain is. I mean the cloud. So I'm gonna start here. This is another thing that I can't do in digital is he has this what's it called? My mind is blanking. It's the palette knife. Palette knife. He takes the palette knife and just runs it across, and it automatically makes these streaks. This brush is doing an okay job, but it's not quite. I think it needs to be a little less saturated. Show me the mountain. He's blended it out right into nothing. Just like that. And this goes down this way. And this goes down this way. Kind of blends a little bit more. I don't know. Just gonna maybe I'll leave it like that. This brush always gives me this hard edge, and I don't like it, but it's fine. I think he had another one here. I want to say there was another mountain somewhere here. So I'm gonna add one. Something like that. Something like... Well, I don't want to get rid of those nice grooves that have shown up. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna color this whole thing in. He's going so fast. One stroke of his is like 5 strokes on me. Okay. I'm not gonna blend that out. I think it's gonna get covered later, so I'm not gonna bother. Okay, what did he do? He took white paint and he just kind of started tossing it on. Instead of the pure white, I'm gonna go with a little bit of a cool blue, because when it... Yeah, there we go. When it mixes in with the mountain color, it kind of warms itself. So this will hopefully neutralize that. Oh boy. Okay, this part I'm gonna pause real quick. It might be cheating, but I'm gonna copy this, the quality of the these weird white places, because I can't do what he does where he just runs it along and lets it be natural. Doesn't work that way. So I'm just gonna kind of throw down color, this white. Something I really want to get is a Bob Ross palette knife digital brush. One that you just like drag and it makes all those little decals and such. It's so cool watching him do it, and it's like it seems so easy, and then I go in and it's like such a struggle to get in those tiny little specks. I think the best thing to do is to just drag it and then go back in with the darker color. Yeah, because I'm trying to draw in the white part and it's kind of not working, so I'm gonna go opposite of him, draw in the white, and then go back in. I've messed up with the color of the mountain. The mountain color is supposed to be a warm, I think, but I made it too cool. It's like a purple on mine. I'm sure I could find a speckle brush somewhere that will make this texture. Let me, since I have the video paused, let me give a quick gander at what I have. Maybe under pastels, noise? No, that's not it. Maybe under charcoal? That's not it either. Pen. Colored pencil? No, I don't want that. Oh my goodness. Hello, Maddie Love 93. Thanks for the follow. Good to have you on board. Just trying to get this Bob Ross to work out. Hope you enjoy your stay. Howdy, howdy. This is already infinitely better than anything I could ever do. Oh, shucks. just wait until I get done and you step back and it's like, what is this? Say you're cheating, but you literally cannot do it any other way. Of course it gives you a hard edge. It's the hard-edged round boy. Oh, I miss my hard-edged round boy. No, this isn't hard-edged round boy. This is a painting brush, so it should be a little soft. But I don't... In Photoshop, you can pretty easily just click and drag, and like in one direction it softens and the other way it hardens. But I'm not sure where that is in clip. I feel like I don't know if you're supposed to just be able to follow a Bob Ross without pausing, you know, because he always starts with like you know, hello, hopefully you're painting along. So he expects people to paint with him, and he does it in real time. He's just like ridiculously fast. And like I'm pretty sure you couldn't pause TV back then. So you would just kind of have to go with it. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm gonna cover some of that up because I think that's a little too much. So I think at least if I wasn't doing it digitally, maybe it would be possible, but... Okay, let's see. What I am keeping in mind is to make the whites on this side of the mountain very bright. I'm going to put in some pure white up here because this is the direct light. And then on the other side, you'll put in the cooler whites to show that that part's in the shadow. Okay. Counterpoint, purple mountain's good. I always make my mountains purple. I don't know who taught me or like where I got the idea that mountains are purple, but I always made them like light lavender. I must have seen it somewhere, you know? It's like, well, why that? It's a specific shade of lavender, too. Like, it's not a periwinkle purple. It's not a lilac. Well, maybe it's a lilac. I don't know. But I specifically feel like it's a lavender. Okay, so I need to bring this down. I also, some of this I can't tell if it's like, that color or if it's just on the screen. Because this is like a YouTube video of a, TV recording, you know? So there's several levels of distortion going on with the way that I'm perceiving the colors. And because I'm like talking, I can't hear what he's saying when he mixes the colors, so I can't even like go based off of that. Just a shot in the dark. Okay, that's fine. Let me continue to add some white. Oh, hey, I've realized something. If I stroke upward, it blends more on the bottom, actually. So it like pulls the bottom color more from the bottom, which is kind of what I want, actually. Okay, I'm done with that. I think the next one is over here. Okay, I need to darken this. Darken the sky behind. Oops. Put that over there. Sorry about that buzzing. Mountains look alright to me. Thank you, Gavin. They aren't that purple. Bob Ross! Hi, Chico! Chico, I'm finally doing it! This newly discovered season 0 of Bob Ross is great. Purple Mountain's Majesty. Oh yeah. Is that the song lyric? I haven't heard that song in forever. Yeah, maybe that's where it came from. Cause I live near the Blue Ridge Mountains. Do I live near the Blue Ridge Mountains or am I projecting? I know about the Blue Ridge Mountains the most. When I think of mountain and color, I think Blue Ridge. So like, but yeah, I guess that is Purple Mountain's Majesty. So when my parents came to America, they got this little book of American songs, and I love tiny songbooks. I still have it. It's this tiny little book that's like barely 6x4. It's paper. It's like stapled together. It's basically a pamphlet, but it has America the Beautiful. It has what's the one that's like about the flag, like Old Glory or something. It has the Star Spangled Banner in it, and they gave it to me, and I just love little songbooks. They're so cute. And if you're like, if you don't have anything to listen to, which I sometimes, you know, back before everyone had a computer in their pocket basically and could like listen to Spotify or whatever whenever they wanted to, I would, you know, be able to pull it out and just like sing myself a song if you had all the lyrics. Let's see. There's a piece right here that he put. It like blends out at the bottom though. All of this blends out at the bottom. Okay, whoa, where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Oh, hi, Kadoo! Live near the Rocky Mountains. They are rock colored. Yeah. Let's see. They aren't that purple. They look very purple to me, on my screen, but maybe it's, because I'm a little too close to them. That Mountains needs more friends. You're doing it. Oh, hey, Kadu. I'm also shirking homework. Y'all! Whoa! I really want to explore the world. Man, that looks good. Thank you, Fire Dragon. Doing my best. Okay, so I'm gonna do some of this speckling, over here now. I think I need to figure out a system for it. Instead of just randomly placing them, I need to kind of be methodical about it. Like, maybe if they go across, like, tiger stripes, you know, instead of just random, it's like goes sort of in this pattern. Let me try that. I feel like I should put in... Maybe I should actually put in the darker lights first before I do this. It's too late. I'm already doing it. But to answer your question, was it Gavin who asked? So I was born in China. My parents met up in China. My mom's from the capital of Beijing, and my dad's from out in the countryside somewhere. And they met up there and had me, and as soon as I was conceived, I guess, my dad ran off to America to, like, start a new life or whatever. And then as soon as I was born, my mom ran off to, like, find him. And so I was left in China with my grandma for 2 years, and then my grandma brought me over to America. So I've been here since 2 years old, so I'm practically an American. I'm pretty much all American, except for the fact that in my household, it's like bilingual, so nobody speaks anything properly. So, like, I never really learned Chinese. I still only have, like, kind of a third grade knowledge. Not even a third grade, a 3rd-year-old maybe, knowledge of Chinese. And my parents are English speaking, but by no means, like, I'd say they're fluent. They're definitely fluent, but they're not super good at it. And it's enough to be funny, and my Chinese is good enough that I can use it for evil and really piss them off with, like, synonyms and such. So it's just fun times all around, I suppose. Not sure what to do down here, because it looks like it gets, like, darker down the further it goes for him. He probably blended it out, like, way farther down than I did, but I'm not sure how to do that. I'm just gonna extend it a little bit so there's some color down here for the white to go on. Let's just do that. Let's just pretend it goes a little further down. But yeah, they one time I was at a bus stop, and this homeless man was talking to me, and he's like, where'd you come from? Because, you know, when you look foreign, people will ask you that. And I'm like, you know, I I do the silly thing where you're like, oh, I'm from that town. He's like, yeah, but, like, where are you from? So I'm like, oh, I was born in China, but I came here when I was, like, 2. And he's like, oh, you're American. And I just felt, I don't know, it felt, what's the word for it? Gratifying for someone to acknowledge that, like, I'm not really Chinese. But I am, but I'm not. I don't know. It's like, he just kind of was like, yeah, no, you've been here so long, you're pretty much of this land. Okay, I'm gonna but at the same time, it's like I'm not. It's hard to feel like I'm from anywhere after a certain point. I keep wanting to go back to this area up here because it feels like he has all this stuff going on, but I feel like I'm accentuating it too much. I'm gonna do that. Also learn Chinese. China's gonna rule the world. I know, right? Validating. I hate the "where are you from" question. IDK, dude. Where are you from? Yeah. But it's like, for me, I can't even like completely jump on that. Oh, I'm from here, because I'm not. Like, I technically was born in China. You know, I'm not, it's not like, I'm not like one of those, I was born here, I was raised here. It's like, I was brought over. So it's like a technicality. It's like, I had a white friend who was born and raised in Hong Kong, and so she would always tell people she's Chinese. Which was just the funniest thing to me. You know, back then we were all pretty like lax about race and ethnicity and stuff. In our area, we don't, at least as kids, we don't really see much like outward racism and stuff, even though it's definitely around. So like, none of us felt like we had to be overly PC about anything back then. It was just like we just said whatever we wanted. It wasn't until, like, you know, you grow up and you kind of realize what the greater sphere of things is like, that you're like, oh, maybe that kind of stuff isn't the best to say. Trying to, I don't know how light to go. I don't know how light to go for this. Because it's definitely lighter than the sky, but... let's see. I'm from the great land of none of ya business. He said it. I'm from yes. I hope they choose you as their supreme leader in the future. I would run China into the ground. No, Spanish is already hard enough to learn. I doubt I can learn Chinese. Yeah, Chinese is ridiculous. I just get bothered because they aren't asking white people that. They don't ask the English dude, no, where are you from? I mean, I think white people are pretty eager to tell you without you asking. Like, oh, I'm part Irish, or like I have 50% Scottish, 10%, 3%. White people can usually trace their heritage back pretty far because, you know, they weren't like stolen or whatever. But it's just, especially in our area, I guess, where there are a lot of exchange students and people traveling, it's like you do get foreigners occasionally, so it's not such a weird question that it would like completely, like, that everyone who asks it will get kicked in the face with like contrarians. So it's like, you know, if you don't teach a man, he's gonna keep doing the same thing. Even I go to a Chinese church where everyone's basically Chinese, and even then, like, when you meet someone who shows up and you hadn't seen them before, they're not like part of the church, and you meet them, the obvious question is, oh, where are you from? Did you come from China? Because half the time, yes, they did, and they're here at the church because they want to find Chinese people they can talk to. But yeah, it's like, I don't get as upset about the question as some people. I do like to poke fun at people about it. Maybe because I don't get asked that very often. So it hasn't gotten to the point where it like personally bothers me, but I can certainly see it being very annoying to certain people if they're constantly being asked. Also, you know, I don't have much of an accent, I like to think. Well, you know, I do talk a little bit strange, but that's mostly from being from a bilingual household, so no one really taught me how to speak properly in either language. But it's not like I have an English or a Chinese. I don't have a strong accent. I don't, you know. I know Chinese people at our church. For some reason, they say their THs as Zs. Like, I assume the French do that, maybe? I don't know what it is. But Chinese accent is very strange. I've just been, like, going on autopilot for the past however long I've been working on that spot of ground. Let me kind of actually look at what I've done. Wow, that's terrible. Let me try to bring out some of this. There's this piece here that where he clearly drug his palette knife down. Where it's kind of you see this like break here. So let me bring that out a little bit. Let me brighten that slightly. And then I can break it up slightly by bringing some of it up, bringing some of the black down. We have a member of our church who is Cuban. And he's a black man, and I always thought he was an African American. So one time I called him that, and he's like, "Actually, I'm from Cuba." Not all black people are from Africa. And I was like, ah. It's not like he just showed up. He's like the youth pastor. He's been at our church for years, you know, like longer than I have. Like I grew up with him, you know, leading the programs and stuff, and like it wasn't until I was practically an adult that I find out, and it was so embarrassing. I cannot tell where anyone is from. It's always hard. But Chinese as a language is impossible. I don't know. We always us what do they call us? They call us ABCs, American Born Chinese. I mean, technically I'm not one of them because I was born in China, but basically me. We tend to make fun of our parents, especially as kids, for having strong accents or like getting words wrong and stuff. But man, they are fluent in probably the hardest language known to man, and having grown up and like realizing that, I can really appreciate that they're doing their best with like the second hardest language known to man, which is English. English is like a nightmare language all in and of itself, and then Chinese is also a nightmare language. So to have both of that in the repertoire, I can't even complain. So good for you, Mom. You're definitely more lingually skilled than I am. Let's see. I think we talked about Cuba in our English class. Oh shoot, you guys have been popping. Let's see. Nickelodeon. But I ask Americans where they're from all the time. I guess it's like yeah, if you go to China and like they see a white person, they're gonna be like, whoa, where you from? Let's see, I got English dude like is in Britain. Oh, people tend to lump all those islands together. I'm back. Hi, Gavin. Chico says, thanks to that, I learned there's a state that's like a hand. I think it was Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. I'm planning to live in Germany whenever I join the Air Force. Kadu says, I gotta say, at university, everyone asks where you're from, despite most of us being white. Just because there's so many out-of-state people. Germany is lovely, especially the South, and also pretty much any POC there are all actually legitimately from foreign places. I think there are more black people from Africa than there are African Americans here. It's neat. Nobody taught me to speak properly. 2019. I'd feel special. I was foreign, and others would ask me about where I came from. Yeah, you can speak perfect English and do accent. Nah, I can't do accent. Teach me your secrets. Okay, I can forgive a university or other situations where it's natural for everyone to ask about where you're from, though I still side-eye people who keep pushing it when I say my hometown. That's true. Like, other than that one instance, I feel like most people that I've met who have asked me that usually either they're still interested in what kind of Asian I am, which, okay, fair, because, you know, there are so many Asian countries, and, you know, are you Korean or Japanese or Chinese? I personally can't tell usually the difference between those. So if you want to know what my heritage is, that's fair, you know, it's an interesting topic, I suppose. But they usually rephrase the question, or they like, you know, they sort of get embarrassed and like try to explain themselves. Asking once is fine. Following up with, no, where are you from? Only you get to decide where you're from. Oh, I see. Let's see, Gavin says, I think we talked about Cuba in our Spanish class. Tail says, even if I was from another country, I'd given you my answer. Yeah, right? Like, I would have said the answer, like, the first time. From where my heart is. So unless it's like you say generic country and then the person wonders what city, that press for detail generally means they know someone there. Yeah. But that's different from you saying you're from like a local neighborhood and they saying like, oh, but where are you from? Where are your people from? Is usually one that I've heard like in joke scenarios, but I assume the jokes come from situations where like they've actually experienced. I don't know. It's like I think it's you don't have to push so hard if they're clearly like, you know, giving you hints that they're not a foreigner, but also like sometimes people are just interested and they're not as tactful and don't get that they're saying something on that offends you, and it's like, don't be so offended. You can, like, you know, if you like explain to them, maybe they'll stop doing it and like become a better person. If they like continue to push after that, then you can like, you know, bugger off. But it's like, you know, just don't take it so personally. Like I like that guy who was talking to me at the bus stop. Once he got an answer that made sense to him, he understood what the context was and where I was really from, and we continued to have a good conversation, and then I got on the bus and I never saw him again, and you know, I didn't have to get angry. I kind of never got around to practicing my Kermit voice for this Bob Ross painting. Do you guys remember, like, way back when I said I was gonna do a Bob Ross painting but in a Kermit voice? Gonna paint some happy little trees right here. I tend to, whenever I do accents, I tend to lose them and just start going into either a southern accent or some kind of weird Scottish pirate dialect thing. I don't know why or what it is about those specifically, but it tends to just start slipping into those. I think I start to enunciate syllables weird in a certain way, and then it comes out, it naturally comes out as one of those. Klingon is the first one. Let's see. That's fun. What about Arabic? How hard is that? I actually don't know. I feel grateful to be fluent in English. Like when I was out of state and I told someone I'm from California, they asked the city. That's totally cool. I'm just very tired of explaining, LOL. Been doing it my whole life and would like to stop being pressed. Especially since you never know if they'll react poorly when corrected. Yeah, like I said, I've been blessed in living in the area that I have been. Not necessarily Northern Virginia area, but like specifically the area, like my city, my neighborhood, my school. It's never been an issue in the areas that I have grown up in. So, you know, it's not something that I have to deal with on that level, but I can certainly understand people who do. Well, I don't know how I like this. Because his white paint over here is very strong. All along the side of this mountain, it's just very strong white. And I've like muted it. I'm gonna try and throw some white back in. It might be a little too late, but I'm gonna throw a little bit back in, just like that, to bring it forward. I kind of like it without any speckles, honestly. I might go in again and get rid of some of the speckles. Just let the white paint be. Or maybe going back in with the white paint. It kind of it helps soften the edges and makes it look more natural. Sorry guys, I can't do it. I envy people who can do voice impressions. Maybe I can get my Kermit up and running in time for Let's Play and give one of the characters a Kermit voice. It's a lot easier to do a voice, actually, when you're reading something. When you have a script to go off of. Because then you don't have to think about what words to use, you just have to think of how you're saying the words. Did you watch the whole vid? You mean the Bob Ross vid? No, I haven't gotten through it yet. I did, you know, on YouTube you can find a bunch of these Bob Ross videos, and they always have the what's it called? The thumbnail of the final painting, so you can look at it. And this one seemed very what's the word, not generic, because that has like a bad connotation, but it's very just standard Bob Ross fare. It's got your typical Bob Ross things in it. The snowy mountain, the blue sky, the pine trees. So I wanted to do this one to start with and see how long it takes for one, because if I was able to, which clearly I'm not, I have discovered now that it is not possible to do it without pausing, especially for this mountain part, which just goes by in an instant for good old Bob, but requires a bit more finagling for us digital artists to pull off. So apart from this part right here, which is taking forever, you know, the video itself is, I think, 28 minutes. It's like 30 minutes long. So if I was able to do it without pausing at all, it wouldn't have taken most of the stream, which means I would have to do more of them. I probably won't be able to get a bunch of these done, considering, but you know, if I do have like half the stream left, I might do another after this one, but we shall just have to see. Kermit has a bit of an Ernie voice going on. You know, Bert and Ernie. They speak with the same kind of energy. Hello, Kermit the Frog here. Doing my best Bob Ross impression. Oh, like characters, voice actors who are putting on a voice, playing a character, and then the character plays a character. Oh, that's the best stuff ever. I have such a pet peeve when, especially in animated, you usually see it in animated stuff, where there's a body swap or a mind swap, and the characters, like, minds get put into each other's bodies, but then their voices don't change. And it's obviously, it's like that's the easiest route to go, because then you can just have the actor or actors continue to play their own character. It's just now the dubs coming out of the wrong character. Funny. But it's like, if your soul gets swapped into someone else's body, you would have their vocal cords, so you would sound like them. You know, that's how it works. But it's just so much harder to, like, tell your actors, okay, you're playing this character, but you're playing this other person's character now. So you have, like, you know, you have to get both actors in a room, maybe, to get them to, like, coach them in how they do the performance, and really get down the... Steven Universe does it great. The person who plays Lars, when Steven goes into his body in that one episode, it's still Lars' voice actor, and he puts on such a good Steven. It's great. Gravity Falls, despite being a better show, like, doesn't do it. I think they do the whole body swap, but the wrong voice. You know, the normal voice is just coming out of the wrong body. You usually don't get this problem with live action, though, because unlike with animation, in live action it's actually more work to dub the voice over the actor, like, acting. So obviously they would just, you know, the actor would just have to play the other character. So it's not as special when I see it in live action, but it's still great. I still appreciate it whenever I see it. In fact, I don't even know why you would ever do the thing where the voice comes out of the wrong character. If you could help it, you know? Like, why would you go through the trouble of doing that in live action? It's a shortcut for animation to pull it off. Okay, let me see. Where am I now? I think I need more light here. This part is too dark. Let me lighten this up. Can you guys see all right? Am I zoomed out too far? I'm basically keeping it so the whole canvas is visible to me, but if it's hard for you guys to see, I can always zoom in a little. I might forget and like zoom back out later, but in fact, I have this little thing at the side, so I should be able to see it. Let me try zooming in. Ooh, that's weird. This might... It's hard because I want you guys to be able to see, but like painting should usually happen at a distance. Okay, I'm gonna press play. He's still scraping, so that's good. I'm gonna scrape a little too. He's beating the devil out of it. Bada 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 bada. And now he's tapping. Okay, so he just wants to tap out some of that, soften it up. Upward lift. I don't know if this is doing anything good. So I'm, instead of just tapping, since I don't have a quote-unquote, like, you know, a blank brush, when he washes and beats the devil out of it, he has a brush that has nothing but turpentine and maybe a little bit of paint, residual paint. But I don't have a brush that's just nothing. So I'm sampling from around where I'm tapping out, and that makes it so that when I tap it, it gives the impression that it's softening the edge, even though I'm not. And I also have it down at a lower opacity, so it does not completely drag the paint around. He didn't do anything with this little bit here. He just left it alone. Maybe it needs to be darker. Let me just darken that up a little while he mixes his paint. Or was it lighter? Maybe he... I don't know. Man. Ah, he just said happy little trees. Okay, hold on. I'm pausing that and I'm gonna read up chat. JB and April Fool's episode. Everyone is Kermit. Why? Also, Zero, your painting is turning out gorgeous. Thank you, Kadu. Where in California were you from? I was born in Cali. Did you watch the whole vid? Chico, I'm with you. I really like those clouds. Also, just the child of Cali, all of it. Tails isn't from a town or a city. She was born under a cactus in the desert. Suckled by coyotes in the wild. Kadu says, well, specifically Concord, San Francisco area. Cali is so big. When my friend moved out to Cali, and then I went to visit another friend, I was like, hey, I'm in California, want to visit? And she's like, you're like 3 hours away. Chico says, this seems like a mountain range from Switzerland. Tail says, oh nice, San Fran is expensive, but the whole area is nice. I always tell people I'm in Southern Cali, 2 hours away out from LA because my hometown is so tiny. We a small city frying up in the heat. Chico says, I mean, I'd gladly watch pure Zero Raw's content. How would it be to have a Karen mod so it reads the chat to you in a Kermit voice? How much do I have to pay Karen to read in a Kermit voice? How cool, I can't spell. Yeah, how do they not know that? Zoom's fine. These paintings are supposed to be seen from a distance IRL anyways. Do the brush thing. Ooh, that's basically a blending brush 0. That's doable. Chico, I'm using a single brush. I'm using this, what's it called? Oil paint flat brush. That comes default in clip, because I can't find any of the other. I can't find where all my other oil paint brushes are. Hold on. Now that I have it paused, let me see if I can find my other brushes. Where are the brushes kept, Chico, since you're here? Brush size, subtool detail, workspace, canvas, color wheel, color set, subtool, import subtool. Let me click over to this, import subtool. No, that's not right. Add from default. Ooh. I think I remember I might have tried the other oil painting brushes and didn't like them. So that's why I only have one right now. That's the only one that I liked. They're under your nose. You always say this like it's so easy, but I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. Paint and apply. Shoot. Oil brush. Oil. New. Create. Copy. Import from material. Whatever. This brush is working fine. Yeah, they're brush groups, but I think I like tossed my oil paints somewhere and I don't know where they are. Legend of Tailsimp. Wait. A Netflix original. I was born in an underground bunker with a community of other people in a place called Vault 13 by Guillermo del Toro. The brushes are in the depth. You have to venture bravely and fight a number of battles to earn the right to use them. I think you gotta slay a dragon at some point. Is it an evil dragon? Okay. Let me blend this out a little. Try and make it a little more softer. Make this a little softer. Okay. Wow, his water comes way high. Okay, what can I do? My mountain's too tall, guys. My mountain's too tall. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to select this. I'm gonna go yoink. Okay. I think no, his is even higher. His is like halfway. His skyline is like halfway up. Okay. And then I'm gonna increase the canvas size and drag the water. Nah, I don't want to do that. See how like squat his mountains are? So I'm gonna do this instead, and I'm going to blend this up. And I'm gonna blend this down. Because wherever you use the lasso tool, it's gonna give you a bit of a harsh line. It's gonna be a hard edge. and we want it to be soft, so I'm gonna go back in and sort of blend out the sky back here so that it looks soft. The sky is basically just a blob, so you won't see much problem. Okay. And then boom, 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 boom. It's an evil dragon, but has a tragic backstory that makes the thousands of atrocities it commits okay. You're hitting close to our childhood anime boys. All of our favorite emo anime boys. I'll do evil things, but I'll brood about it later. I remember those boys. War flashback. Oops, that's a little harsh. Let me lower the opacity and blend out the water here. Okay, I need... You know what I need? I need to find the blend tool. I can't keep using this brush because it's not doing what I need it to do. I'm gonna put in some of this color. The anime boys are on thin ice. Yeah. At least we don't see as many of those. Actually... No, I feel like we still have plenty of those around now. Y'all, I need to watch more anime. I want to watch more anime! Has anyone seen any good anime recently? Let me see if I have a blend brush. Oh, I found my, my brushes. Hold on. Never mind. These are not it. Thick. Maybe it's under the gouache. Whatever. Is it this? Blur. Here's a blur. Blend? Ooh, let's try this. Ah, that's so soft. Blur maybe? I never really liked using smudge and blur tools because they tend to lag a whole lot. Let's go back to our oil paint brush. Let's bring down the opacity and just go in and stroke, 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 and hopefully it just starts to blend in properly. You never really can tell with these digital brushes what they're going to do. If you don't have yourself a custom brush or the power to make yourself a custom brush, you're kind of at the mercy of the ones that come with the program. But you know what? Who ever cares? As long as it looks fine from a distance. Oh, I've zoomed out way more than I even started. You know what? Shh. This must be riveting content. I need to watch more anime, but at the same time, all I want to do is watch Mob Psycho over and over again. Oh, this looks really bad, you guys. This looks really bad. Instead of going back and forth properly, it's like going up and down at the same time, so it's like... Like, it's coming out kind of, curvy. Kind of curvy. I don't like how the water is coming out. I just accidentally made my brush really big. Okay, new strategy. New strategy. I've got an idea. I've got an idea. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do this. New strategy. I'm not gonna do it like... I'm not gonna do it like a oil paint. I'm gonna just make it look like an oil paint. Gonna do some of that, some of this. Bring it in here. Maybe bring it out here. I'm gonna go down to my blend brush, my blur tool. Make it really nice and soft. Just really soft. I'm gonna soften this too. Just make this all really soft. It looks really gross right now, but hopefully I'll cover it. And then I'm gonna go back in with my phthalo blue. And hopefully this works. Make the brush really big. And drag across. No, that didn't work. Let me lower the opacity. Drag across. Why isn't it working? Ah! Why isn't it doing like the thing that it did on the mountains where it just kind of like left lines? Okay, well my strat didn't work. Let me see. Can I get... in like that. In like that. Sorry I'm ignoring you guys, but I'm just Sometimes it takes all of my brain power to figure out how to art properly. And this is... Who knew the water would pose such a challenge? I thought this would be the easy part. Famous last words. I thought this would be the easy part. There's a magical light path to the mountains. Truly a magical painting. Happiness charge pretty cure is online, yeah! Wait. Gosh, are you guys talking about anime? Yeah! Kind of liked the tall mountains. I wanted to escalate them, but more Sea Lake is good too. Well, I need to put in more Sea Lake because I feel like he's gonna put a lot of stuff down there, you know? Moral, you can't have it all. Be happy with what you got. Oh god, I remember those boys. Zero, you know what I'm aiming at, but brooding anime boys are also on thin ice. I don't think we'll ever be allowed to forget those boys. We sure do. Ojo Majo Doremi! Tails, I'm talking about like recently. JoJo Bizarre Adventures. Man, a lot of people are jumping into JoJo. JoJo is too much for me. You knew that was coming. I've seen 3D series in a style like Avatar, so I guess American anime. Happiness Charge Pity Cure. The main magical girl occasionally uses laser beam eyes. Sounds really cool. As long as it looks good in your heart. Chico, she also uses the lovely punch, which is just a bunch of punches, and the lovely punching punch, which is her summoning a giant. What is this? These names? Are these from the original, or is it like what the dub came up with? Also has a giant sword. Okay, okay. New strategy. Take screenshot of water, paint over it. There's a magical light path to the mountains. Suggestion. Change the names of the colors with JBN characters. Like Sharon Blue, Bianca Yellow. I do have a specific Sharon Blue and a specific Jet Blue. And sometimes when I'm drawing a character that doesn't have a color squatch. I said squatch. A color Sasquatch. Like obviously when I'm drawing Jet, I would use the Jet colors, but her color blue is different from Charon's color blue, so when I am drawing someone that doesn't have a predetermined swatch and they're not going to be in the comic long enough for me to like bother adding them to the swatch list, I'll sometimes borrow colors from other characters. And when I do, I always think, oh, I'm using this person's color, or I'm using that person's color, and it like it gives the character this weird sort of connection to the character that basically isn't anywhere other than like the color palette, which I think is fun. Sometimes it does kind of feed into. I've talked about it before, but Bottles' specific red is like gives me fighting spirit vibes, and whenever I use it on a character, I always think like this is the spirit of fighting that comes from the heart. I don't know what that was. When I use the color, Lily has a specific yellow tan color that was on her face, and I've used it in July when she was a baby. And where else did I use it? I used it in I think I used it in Sunny, the Stunfisk. And like Sunny doesn't really have much of a specific character arc that I've planned for her, but the fact that she has Lily's color just makes her more part of the team. Like she's been accepted. Just even on that like weird base level. I don't know, it's fun. Sir Francis has a color that he shares with Fire Dog. It's the yellow. The yellow of Fire Dog's stripes is the same yellow that's on Sir Francis's emblems that go along his midriff. So I like to think that kind of connects them together in a sense. I like that, actually. It's very much not what Bob has in his, but it's a little more purposeful than what I had before. So I'm gonna stick with that. His water top is very soft though, so I'm at least gonna soften that part. Just a little bit. Maybe a little more. Okay. I'm gonna go in a little more with a white. And blend that out. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm finally ready to restart the video. Oh wait, no, I want to check the chat first. Don't ignore us, Tails, everyone who has ever painted water. Oh no, water is a wild beast. That's who knew. I discovered a trick to animate water quickly. What? There's a trick? But it only works in certain angles. Hi, Bronzeleaf. Good to see you. Just like Tails said. I almost forgot that the stream was today. I got sucked into playing Okami HD and didn't look at the time for like an hour. Aw, shucks. It's... Man, I feel so embarrassed that you guys, like, actually check the time and come to my streams. But I love having you guys. Thanks for coming. As you can see, I'm playing around with digital painting. Doing a little Bob Ross. Let's start the video again. Also, Tail says Okami good, and I have not played Okami, but it looks amazing. Speaking of painting, right? Okami. Okay, I don't know what color he chose, but I'm guessing it's a dark green. And it looks a little cool, so I'm gonna go into kind of a Viridian green. Close to cyan and really dark because it's very far away. And this is gonna be interesting because he's doing his brush up and down. Whoa, I'm using the wrong thing. He's doing his brush up and down, but this brush here is really just one shape, and so I'm gonna have to make it really small to kind of make it look like it's pointy. And he's doing a stippling, a tap, tap, tap. He's just covering up the water. He's just covering up the water that I spent so long doing. I'm gonna start by bringing this over, because he actually has this part going way over here. Aw. Bob's talking about he got like a letter from a watcher, and she talks about how every week she would when the show comes on, she would drag up her wheezy chair. He calls it a wheezy chair, whatever that is. She's like an old lady, I'm assuming. And like every week she drags it up to the TV, and every week she falls asleep to Bob Ross, which is delightful. Okay. My mountains are basically just completely purple at this point. His are kind of blue at the bottom here. I might be able to throw some blue in, actually. Let me try to bluify this. He's loading up with sap green. Good old sap green. Sap green has become a bit of a meme color on the internet. If y'all don't follow art YouTubers, there's this thing going on with Casey Golden and I think where they called Doodle Date, Steph and Adam on Doodle Date, where I think it started with Doodle Date really wanting a sap green Copic marker, maybe? I can't remember. It's been a while since I like was part of the story, like aware of it, but they made such a big deal about getting sap green that when they did a challenge video where they sent each other when they sent each other art supplies to use, Casey just sent them a buttload of sap green art supplies, and like Steph doesn't even like sap green. She doesn't even like that color. So it's just, whenever I see sap green, I snicker as if it was some kind of joke, but it's like it's not a joke. It's not funny. It's just a color. And yet just the color itself makes it go sap green. Green actually isn't a necessary color for any palette, unless you're doing markers, which I guess you have to have all the colors of the rainbow for marker art. Okay, Bob, you gotta slow down. Bob, you gotta wait for me. Okay, Bob. Okay, you gotta pull it back, please. I'm just putting in these distant trees. You can't come in with a big ol' evergreen when I'm just dabbing in these guys. I'm falling behind, Bob. I'm falling behind. You're leaving me. I thought we were friends. We're not friends. I don't know Bob. Bob Ross is the only Funko Pop that I have, and it was a gift from a client. So I keep it in our print shop, and he just sits there and watches over the art students as they scramble to get their stuff done for class. And it's cute. I don't really like most Funko Pops. Funko has this weird design aesthetic that's a little... It's not my aesthetic. I'm not into it, really. But if someone, you know, someone gifts you a Bob Ross, you're gonna love it. How can you not love a Bob Ross? Even if it is a Funko. Zero, make a brush out of that tree texture you're making. What do you mean? I can't. I'm painting directly on the background layer. This is the only way to do it, Chico. In order to get the blending, you have to paint directly into another pigment. Pretty sure you have to like isolate the shape in order to make a brush out of it. In any case, I don't know how to make brushes or textures. So, I don't think Oof, my arm is getting tired and look where I am. I need to cover this entire thing with trees. Okay, I'm gonna come down here. Start to stagger the trees. And I'm gonna, maybe I'll try this. I'll try this kind of, yeah, I like this better. This is putting down a little more paint. It's not quite what he was doing. It doesn't give the same, like, effect because it goes sideways, but it puts down more paint and covers a little faster. So I'm gonna make my trees go sideways. Sorry, Bob. The wind is picking up. We're blowing away. Funko Pops creep me out, says Tails. They are kind of creepy. Dabbing. Dabbing in the trees. You gotta dab in the trees. Hey, guys. I don't have... hold on. I don't have Twitch pulled up, but I can pull it up. I found out that I can do this. I'm gonna dab in the trees. Yeah. I don't know if that'll show. I want a Squirtle and Pikachu. Wait, hold on. What are we talking about? Paint water to only cover it. Literally saw Target for the Switch. Thought I already owned the game for the Wii. I've been coming to Zero streams for more than a year and I'm still not used to Monday night streams. Is the Monday night weird for you guys? Let me know what days would work better for you. I'm not saying that I can do another day, but it would be good to know in case I do end up adding a day or like wanting to do another day. Just let me know. You'll want to have big narrow brush for this job. You can mod that brush or you're using. What a way to go to sleep. That's a funny association though. Sad green. It's not easy being green. Funko Pops creep me. Yeah, I have a Bulbasaur and a Charmander Funko Pop. I want a Squirtle Pikachu. Temporarily paint in a new blank layer and send it to me. I'll forge you a brush. Jet would totally dab out of nowhere. I just imagine going into the woods and find Zero dabbing among the trees. Monday works well for me. It's lovely to start the week with your stream. Oh, thank you, Tails. Oh, why did I start the video? I need to dab in more trees. I found a new technique. Instead of going only sideways, I can go all ways. Just scribble. I'm just basically, if you can't see, I'm doing this. I was doing... So at first, let me show you. At first I was doing this to put in the texture. And then I found out that going like this puts down more paint. So I started doing that to put down the paint. And now I'm just kind of going like this. But like really small. I'm learning. I'm evolving. Okay. I just need to find... Yeah, I don't know if you could hear the dabbing before, but the you can probably tell it's a lot quieter now because I've switched techniques, and this is probably better for my pen, or at least the tablet surface, that I'm not constantly smacking it with the pointy tip. And yeah, let's just keep going with that. And this is a little faster too, I think. This is good. Where any time you learn how to go a little faster, a little more confident, a little bit of Monica, I'm sorry. I agree. Yes, embrace the chaos. What would you evolve to? A Schmeargle. Are you progressively gonna turn into a humanoid wolf? Oh, a midnight Lycanroc. Oh man. I have so many Pokesonas. It's like, you got Lycanroc midnight form that looks exactly like Zero. Zero the red wolf, I mean, because it's like a red wolf with white underside, and it's, you know, it's okay, it's just a wolf that has a red and white, but ah, it's too high up. Can I salvage it? Can I bring it down? I was so uh focused on doing the little texture that I wasn't paying attention to where the tree line was, and his trees go all the way down here. Like they barely even touch the top of that, and I was just kind of going straight across there. This is what happens when you draw too close and you don't pay attention. Sometimes when I do grass, the same thing happens. I think I drew a mouse one time. It was a mouse hiding under a leaf. And then I started doing grass texture on the ground. And I was so proud of the grass texture that I was making that I just did. I was like so focused and so happy with the way the grass turned out that I completely forgot the scale of the image. Because the grass next to that mouse would have been enormously tiny. It would have been like peat moss wouldn't have been that fine. And my friend made fun of me for it, so it's like, you got me there. You know, usually if it's something that only I notice, then you can be you can say, oh, don't worry about it. You can be like, you're thinking too hard into it. Nobody's gonna notice, it's fine. But when someone else points out things to me, then you know that you've messed up. You know you messed up. You didn't do the good. And I almost pulled one of those. See, now the trees are too close together over here because it's like, you know, there's just all of this down here. But I'm gonna continue along. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna try and get this straight across. And I think it should be okay. Yeah, because he like covers it all up. And now I gotta try and match this side. I can't tell. But I do want to, now I'm gonna try and make it very close together on this side too, so it doesn't like stand out weird. I can't be like, oh, I messed up on the other side, let me do it right on this side now. If I'm gonna keep the mistake on that side, I gotta emulate it over here. So, the same amount of closeness. It's gonna look different either way because I've changed up the technique that I was doing it in. Hopefully it doesn't look weird. So far, I think it's fine. Tall trees, rain connection. Is that a Rainbow Connection joke? Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? I love that song. I didn't grow up with Muppets. I watched Muppets for the first time in college when my roommate found out I'd never watched the Muppets and was forced to educate me. Brought back her entire DVD collection, and we sat down and made a tradition of watching it every night. Got through it. It was great. One of my favorite songs is still the Tomorrow song, where the hobos are like singing about traveling to tomorrow, which is like a song. I set out on a journey just about a year ago to a little town called Morrow in the state of Ohio. Oh, the town's called Morrow. So they're traveling to Morrow. Because the town's called Morrow. They're trying to get to Morrow, and it's like all about wordplay. I've never been much of a traveler, so I really didn't know that Morrow was the hardest place I'd ever tried to go. I'll try to remember the rest of the song in a little bit. Just like a BS it. You gonna paint the zero. I purposely made the grass small so the eye would focus on the mouse. I was utilizing size to accentuate my... That's honestly all art school is. It's just learning how to talk about art is like half of the battle. It's not so much, you know, like depending on what kind of artist you want to be, obviously. If you're an illustrator, obviously you have to focus on actually drawing properly and like having good technique and stuff. But if you're a conceptual artist, the main battle is learning how to talk about your art, because no one else is going to buy it unless you sell it. You're the only one who'll sell it unless you get like a deal with an art director, or what are they called? The person who like pushes you, the art manager or whatever, the gallery manager. I don't know. But even then, you kind of have to sell it to the manager first. Like, you will always care more about your work than any other person. And so we often go in as kids. I was certainly one of these. We learned this kind of, or I'll speak for myself. As a kid, I learned this sort of defense mechanism where I found out if I put my art down, people will only bring it back up. They'll try more to talk about what's good, what works, if I go in saying what didn't work. And they'll be like, oh, well, no, like this, that, and it's great, blah blah blah. And you know, you don't really learn that way, because the things that you say that are bad about it are usually superficial. Like, just they're not even really issues that you believe that need to be fixed or whatever. It's just like, I don't really like how it came out, or oh, this is just a stupid drawing, like the character is silly or whatever. I don't remember the things that I would say, honestly. So I'm like blanking on examples right now. But you get the point. You get the idea. You probably done it too. And then people will be like, oh, but I love it. It's great. And then I feel good because it's like, yeah, talk about that. And then I go to art school and I realize it's like, you know, I need to learn to talk my art up. Because not only will that allow other people to bring up what they think didn't work and subsequently help me get better, but eventually people stop caring. You say like, oh, this is bad, and they're like, yeah, let's go look at something that's nice. Especially if you're trying to sell your work, you know, that's not gonna fly. You can't go around going, oh, this sucks, now buy it. It's like, no. Why would I buy that? Why would I spend my money on that? And eventually people get tired of talking to you if all you do is put your stuff down. You gotta just say good things about your art, let other people tear it down. You don't need to be part of that negativity. You've made the thing. Own up to it. What did you like about it? And that's not to say like ignore if there are problems. Being self-aware and like self-analytical, to be not wary, but I already said self-aware. Thesaurus, why have you failed me? I have a little dinosaur in my brain called the Thesaurus, and he's often not available when I want to find another word. Okay, there's my tree line. I think it's a little too uniform, so I'm gonna grab the darkest green I can find. And throw in maybe a taller tree right here. Bring that up. Break that. Don't talk Zerozard down. I'll fight anyone, even if it's a very zero. What kind of dinosaur is Thesaurus? It's a Thesaurus. That's the type of dinosaur. Friend of a friend said they tried that on the first critique and the teacher was just like, then why didn't you fix it? Then tore it into, yes! Nice! Yeah, it only works with like your friends and your parents. Okay, but that's half pre-writing. Half of writing too. It's half of everything. Like even now as I'm talking to you guys, I want to say stuff like, oh, I'm just rambling. Don't mind me. Let me know if it's not interesting. Sorry I'm boring you. That's another thing that I always did was apologize for my art. It's like sorry you have to look at this thing that I put in a lot of time for, or if I drew something for someone, it's like, sorry it isn't great, when they're usually like, OMG, it's my character, you know? They're like, just as I was a child making art, my friends were children looking at art. They weren't like amazing critiquers or like art critics. They were like, OMG, it's the character that I like. Automatic likes your thing. So I don't know what we were trying to prove to anyone. We're all just, we were young, gonna set the world on fire. I don't know. Feel strangely at peace with the state of my art. It's bad, but it's okay. I don't put it down to make people talk better of it. It just isn't that great, and that's okay. But I guess I'm also not selling it. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have peace about things that you do for fun. Sometimes people take on a hobby, and the people also doing the hobby are like really intensely doing the hobby because it's like their livelihood or their passion, and it like rubs off, and the people who just want to do it for fun like start to feel like they have to be on Patreon, or they have to, you know, do conventions and sell their stuff. When they do it, they stop enjoying it. and they're like, they forget why they got into it in the first place, and it's because they had enjoyed doing it at some point. You know, like, I'm never gonna sell my squirrel skins. I'm not gonna go to like shows and set up a table and say like, here, check out my wares. And so my skins come out really tacky, and like I can't fit them on a form because they're just so ripped up and stuff, but they make me happy. It makes me happy to do taxidermy and to tan hides and like have them on my wall. And that's okay. It's like, would I go take a class on taxidermy and like get better? Sure, I would love to. I care enough about it that I wouldn't mind being better, but it's not like on the top of my priority list of things that I'm going to pursue, you know? Golly. Art is relative. Oh goodness, no, never do that on stream. Chico said, I've seen quote unquote bad art, in my opinion, unrightfully selling like crazy. Other bad art that I really like. Tail says, me and my friends, look at this garbage I drew. ISN it's something new. It's something gnarly. Tail says, "Isn't it great?" Oh, you didn't finish typing. Okay. I thought it was an acronym. Chico said, "The important part is that you can capture your own voice, I guess." Tail says, "Do a thing that makes you feel good." Also, guys, let me know if my voice goes out, in and out, because sometimes I forget to talk into the microphone, which is like off to my right, and I forget what my settings for are on it. I'm gonna roll back. Wait, what? He didn't finish that. He left that blank? Hold on a sec. I need to go back. Back to the past. Samurai Jack. Jack. Okay. Sorry, I gotta go back and fix this. Fix this. Also, did you know that the reflection tends to be darker than what it's reflecting? I always thought it was the opposite, but apparently it's not. I'm being a lot looser because whereas he like just sort of pulls the paint, I'm not sure if I can do that. So I'm trying to utilize the looseness and hopefully make that work for me. Don't look at nature enough to know things like reflections and stuff and how it works. For once, the paint is actually pulling too much. It's like diluting it too much compared to what I want it to do. Let me just pull it down slightly first. Let's see. You are a radio star. Thank you. Thank you, Chico. I'm not, but it's very flattering. Do the thing. Do the thing that makes you feel good. Tail says, also a phrase I heard that might be what you're looking for is be proud of your growth, but never satisfied. Like, acknowledge and be proud of what you can do, but always work to be better. Yeah, if you think your cup is completely full, you're never going to look to fill it. But also don't, like, poke holes in your cup so that it, like, drains as you fill it. Don't, like, sabotage yourself. Oh, you should open a Patreon, Redbubble, Etsy. Please, let me just enjoy the thing. Your voice has been good so far. Thank you, Tails. I found that I can use my phone as mic. My desktop mic is really bad. Tails says, also please let us be okay not being like CEOs or owning our own business. Some of us just want a job that pays the bills and gives us time to live our lives. Yeah. My dream job is one that I can clock in, clock out, and, you know, go home, drink some Coke, and, watch some anime. Okay, let me see if one of these, if any of these does the thing that I wanted to. That is so gross. I've messed up. I should have just done this from the beginning. Let me see if I can pull up. No, that's not gonna. Let's just blend it out. Let's just do it. Let's just do it from here. It's too late to go back. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. Too late to apologize. Tomorrow was the hardest place I'd ever tried to go. So I went down to the station for my ticket and applied for tips regarding Morrow, not expecting to be guided. Said I'd like to go tomorrow. Can I go today? Something. Man, I really can't remember it anymore. But if you haven't heard it, you should look it up. Muppets Tomorrow. 2 space Morrow. Yeah, well, he can just take his good old big fat brush and just drag it along with, you know, and it pulls the paint. I gotta be a little more conscientious and actually, because as I put down, I'm also putting down paint. So I gotta know what pigment I'm placing. So in a way, what I was doing earlier is useful, but I didn't have to do it. I could have just straight up gone to this stage, I think, and it would have been fine. How are we doing on time? Oh man, we're actually running out of time. So this 30-minute painting from good old Bob has turned into 3 hours of digital painting from me. Wow. I haven't seen many other digital artists do Bob Ross, though. I think I watched one other one, and I don't remember what her time was. So I don't know if I'm doing well or poorly in that regard. If this is, like, par for the course, or if I'm, like, way behind. But I'd like to think that since I don't tend to paint digitally, that I'm doing pretty good for my skill level in that regard. You know, it's like if you do digital painting all the time, then obviously you would fare better. But as far as it goes, I'm actually kind of digging this pointillist, sort of impressionistic style that I've developed for this water section. Since I can't get the smooth texture, I've opted to go for more of a Van Gogh sort of Monet kind of dabbing. This just in, Zero likes to dab. Dabbing works the best. This just in, the water is blue, the sky is blue, grass is green. Pokemon are awesome, and Zero is dabbing. I've actually not done much real world dabbing. I will be honest. I still have not felt like I've been in a situation where that would be appropriate. It is a pretty fun thing though. Like I've done a little bit and it I don't know why, but once you do it once, I kind of just often I'm in public and for no reason whatsoever I get the urge to just dab, and I'm just like, it's just like no. I don't have any friends who would appreciate it, I suppose. Other than like literal children, which I'm not quite at the stage where I'm ready to throw in my throw in with those. Okay, wait a minute. So Bob Ross, his woods didn't reach the edge there. Let me play this. Buy gold. Buy Fire Dragon. Bye Fire Dragon. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Van Gogh. No, it's Goth with a F sound. I think I don't know why I started saying it like that. I don't know if that's the like actual pronunciation or if that was a mispronunciation that I heard somewhere, but I always like to say Van Gogh's name as Van Gogh. I don't know why. It's natural that will take more time. Drawing a triangle, you have to not only understand what he's doing, but find a way to replicate it with different tools. Yeah, you're right. I'm not so much following precisely as I am interpreting, but isn't that all of art, you know? You're always just interpreting. Zero Woo is part of the Illuminati. The Illuminati! Oh my goodness, Chico, that's amazing. Zero Woo. No, wait, I'm missing a whole lot. Hold on, going back up. Isn't it great? Please, Tails Imp Inc. Doesn't look half bad. I'm impressed. I mean, you're not following him. Blah blah blah. It's natural. Take more time. You keep doing this, I'll naturally understand how to replicate the technique, and you're learning how. I bet it'll go faster and faster. Yes! Dab during my graduation! Yes! What? Oh, waiting in line. Okay. Not like on stage. You need new friends? I would have, but we had to keep moving. That would have been amazing. That would have been so funny. Okay, I need to get rid of this. I need to get rid of this. This part right here is for some reason like not covered. This part is for some reason not covered by trees. So just pull that back out. I guess blend this a little since it just kind of is there. Just kind of stops there, I guess. Missed that part. Yeah, he like leaves a little bit of an edge. Yes, you're always interpreting him not just his actions, but his tools too. There were on-stage dabbing. 3 people in total. They made the line scrunch up. That's why I didn't do it. You're very, very considerate, Tails. You didn't finish the vid. That's why. I didn't have time. I literally decided to do this 15 minutes. Like 15 minutes before I had to start. Yeah, I didn't watch the video. I just picked one. He's talking about that lady again because I like backtracked, and he said that she would fall asleep watching his videos, and then when she woke up, he'd have finished the painting and left her by herself. Which is such a funny way to put it. So he's gonna go into yellow. A little sap green, yellow. Okay, so he's getting a really bright green color. I'm gonna bring down the saturation a little bit because you don't get that kind of saturation in real life. Oh, he's mixing up his colors now. He's just getting a touch of Indian yellow and yellow ochre, and just throwing in whatever. Well, Bob, you understand that it takes a lot. I have one color, and I don't have like a palette full of all colors that I can just dip into. I gotta actually like pull and find that color over here. So give me a sec while I darken this up down here. Oh my goodness, he's so fast! Ah! Bob, you're leaving me behind again. You're leaving me behind. It's okay. As long as it doesn't go too far, I can usually like just catch up visually. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down a little just because. And I'm gonna bring this down a little just because. And I'm gonna take some more of this color and I'm gonna bring it down so that it looks like it's like, you know, stippled. And he's putting in his giant tree now. He always likes to do this. He goes in from the top and just like drops in a giganto tree and goes right through the painting. And I do have a brush in Photoshop that does something like that. That works pretty well, but I don't have it with me here in Clipland. So I'm gonna just stick with this brush that we've been using and see if I can do something similar. I'm gonna do what he said and add a little bit of Indian yellow, what is it? Yellow ochre, maybe? Just some dabs of warmer colors, basically what it interprets as, what the interpretation is. Just here and there, he said, just here and there. Yeah. But not to so much that it covers it up, so bring back some of the under color. Sometimes I come in with a color a little too strong and it covers up everything that I had going. So I don't want to lose what I had before. I think I could have used the smaller brush for that, but I'm not going to go back and fix it. And then he takes some of the lighter white and just kind of drops in some ripples. Back and forth, back and forth. Layer after layer after layer. You put some happy little clouds. You play some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start off by believing here. This is your world. You're the creator. You find freedom on this canvas. He uses a palette knife, I think, for this part. I've seen him do it before. I didn't really see him do it on this painting, but I'm pretty sure it's the same technique where he just takes a palette knife and drags it across and it creates the ripples. My ripples are looking a little bit messy because I'm going a little fast. I will admit. But I'm also freehanding it with like a brush, so he's naming his trees. He named his trees Martha and Fred. He's like, give them little stories, give them names if you have to, as you draw in your trees. Bob, you're so funny. Okay, dipping back into that sap green, Bob. Can I call you Bob, Bob? Are we friends now? I believe everything's a great day when you paint. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe. Okay. That's my Ness impression. Okay. You can't see it, but I have to put my hands on my hips every time I say that. It's involuntary. I think I'm good. Oh my goodness, Bob, where have you gone? What have you done? Come back, Bob. Bob, what are you doing? You're leaving me behind again. Okay. It's not a race, Bob. Giganto trees time. Yeah. Let's go back to that tree. So it looks like he took a big old glob of black. Let's make it a little warmer than the ones in the background. But still pretty black. Where does he put it? Oh, that's why he didn't cover. What? Come on, Bob. Do you see this part right here? Right here? Right here. You see that? You see this part right here? He, like, deliberately painted it like that, and now he's just covering it all up. Just covering it all up. Okay, I'm gonna pull out so I can draw the tree right here. Let's see what I can do. Let's see what I can do for you, Bob. It's not a race. 3 people in total, and they made the line scrunch up. Oh, okay, I got that. Bianca yellow, hat green. You don't finish the vid, that's why. Jangoto tree time, Gigantamax, Alolan Executor. Bob Ross is copying you! I got 30 minutes to finish this painting, guys. Bob Ross is copying you. Bob is a Lord of the Ring character that has Ent friends. How wooed! How wooed of Bob to cover it all up. Okay, so, Cloud ends there. So that means the tree starts about here. There's 3 trees. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna place them right there. That's my plan. That's my ding dong plan. Okay, so starting with this one, I'm gonna start by going straight down. I'm gonna start by going straight down. Oh, he goes all the way, don't he? Double rainbow all the way. Okay. So I got that as straight as I can, and now I'm going to... Oopsies, I did the not good. I went too far. You can't do this, Bob. You can't just undo. Haha, that's a power I have over you. I think I started too far over. I started too far over. I should have started over here. Dag nabbit! It's okay. I'm just gonna keep going. Sometimes you just gotta keep going. It's okay. I'll find room for that other tree. I'll find room. I won't leave him behind. Okay, that's as far as I need to go. I know. I'll make it taller. I'll make it taller. And, okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't do it that time. I did a nest, and I didn't have to put my hands on my hips. It's because I was preoccupied. Okay, now I'm gonna add the other one right here. I'm gonna make it really close to the edge. That's how I'm gonna get it in. I'm gonna make it really close. Is that too tall? Maybe. Do I care? Yeah, I'm gonna redo it. You know, one of my favorite things about watching the 10-minute Power Hour on Game Grumps is when Aaron has to do something artistic and actually, like, is good at it, because I forget that he's actually an artist. Just like sometimes when I'm watching GMM on, GMM, that is the show. It's not GMM on anything. It's just GMM. When I'm watching Good Mythical Morning and like Rhett and Link start to sing, and I'm like, oh, I forgot you guys are actually talented musicians that have made several music videos and like tracks, and this is a thing that you guys do. Sometimes I just forget that people are multifaceted talents. The other day I was talking to a friend. I was like, I was editing a video so I can post it, and he's like, oh, you're a content creator? Are you a YouTube influencer? I'm like, what? Is that just all you guys think making content is now? Like, I do streams and that's all I have energy for. Sometimes I edit videos and it drains me to no end. I was actually editing together. You'll have noticed, maybe you haven't, but I'm gonna pretend that you've noticed that all of the animation streams have disappeared from my channels, and that's because I was playing like actual music instead of this like royalty-free stuff that I usually do, and most of them got blocked on YouTube. So and then the audio gets taken gets muted on Twitch. So I went in and got rid of them, but I managed to save 3 of them. I forgot to save one of the videos. I don't know where it went. It's the one where I'm like coloring basically the whole time, and then I like try to do fire at the end, so you don't like miss much. But I saved some of the videos and I was editing together a time-lapse for it. So it's like the most easiest thing. It's just a time-lapse video, and yet that was like all I could do that day. For the rest of the day I was like, man, I don't have energy for anything after doing that. There we go. There's Martha. And what was the other one's name? I can't remember. I'll name it Roberto. Roberto and Martha. The trees. Oh, there's 3 of them. Genet. Roberto, Genet, and Martha. We gotta save the forest, guys. We need to save Martha! Whoomst! I'm naming the trees Tails, because Bob told me to. He said to name the trees. I need to make this a lot less saturated, a lot more bluer. Okay, I think I can start the video again. I think I'm pretty much caught up. Oh, no, you can't see it from this angle on the video, but I think he did put some, highlights. I'm going in with a little bit of pure black, even though he probably didn't use any. Because I'm not getting the deepness that I want. I'm gonna blend it out a little bit by going back over with the color underneath, directly underneath, but I kind of wanted to push some of that back. Often if your painting or drawing feels a little flat, or it doesn't pop much, you probably just need more contrast. And all contrast is the difference between the darkest dark in your painting or illustration and the lightest light. So you know you can add more intense highlights on your light source, or darken the shadows a bit. And it just expands the painting. If everything is a mid-tone, it's just not that interesting to look at. As soon as you put in that pop of pure white and that dash of darkness. No parents! There's 2 mountains in the painting. No, there's 3. The actual one and the lake one. What? There's no... Oh, he didn't reflect the mountain. Let's see. I'm gonna go back a little. Okay, let's play it from there. Let's grab some green. He's gone in with the green, and he's just kind of dabbing it in. Bob Ross is I look up to Bob Ross. I've never seen anyone dab so much on national TV. Okay. So, got some branches there on that. I'm gonna go into this tree also and place some in. So a friend of mine, Mouse with the Dinosaur Tail, started playing this game. And it's I forget what it's called, but there's this it's made by the people who made Franbo, so it's kind of creepy. There's a narrator that talks to you throughout the game, and I want that guy. I need to look up who his name is, and I want that guy to read me an audiobook. I want an audiobook read by that guy. I just want to listen to his voice. Bob, come back, please. I looked away for 2 seconds. What are you doing? What? Bob, please, come back. What are you? Okay, he started, like, scraping. He was scraping his canvas. I'm not sure what to do about that, so I'm just gonna take a lighter color and just kind of go in like this. He said most of this will get covered up, so I'm not too worried. I'm not sure where to put them, so I'm just gonna, you know, drop them wherever, as if I'm just scraping the paint off, letting the underpaint show through. Okay, I think that's enough. Now he's going in with a color similar to this one in the background, actually, so I'm gonna sample that. And again, he's doing that thing. You're doing the thing again, Bob, where you kind of just let the brush do the work for you, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna make a new layer. because the way that this brush behaves when it touches paint underneath is it blends too much. And what Bob's doing right now is he has a lot of paint on his brush, and it's not so much blending that much into what's below. So in order to simulate that, I'm gonna make a new layer, and that's gonna allow the paint to sort of sit on top without without blending too much. And I'm just gonna start stippling in. I know he's staying to the shadows. It's smart. So I gotta do as the Bob do. Yeah, see, now it's not at all blending. Unfortunately, my brush isn't round like his is. It's like a specifically square shaped. So I'm gonna have to go back in later and fix some of that. But for now, I think this is good. I think he has another one around here. Right here. I've decided it's right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with I'm gonna sample this color right here. Maybe this one, maybe a little darker. I'm gonna start bringing some of the color in from the bottom, and I'm gonna just blend it out. Blend it out where I want it to. Ah, I figured out the technique. As his brush runs out of color, it blends, but I need to bring the undercolor back in. I need to bring it up. I'll meet it halfway. I think that works out. You figured it out! I got it! Oh, that feels really good when something kind of clicks. When something that didn't make a whole lot of sense suddenly makes a ton of sense, and you're like, oh, I have the power! Okay, what else? Okay, so now we have a couple bushes. Got, another bush here. You know what? I think I can change the direction. Oopsies. Can I change the direction? Density, color stretch, brush density. There's a lot of stuff I can do here. Brush tip. Direction. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. Now I can put them in the other direction. Hey! I'm evolving! doesn't look great, though. I will admit, it doesn't look great. So maybe it's not the amazing thing I thought it was, but it's something. We're going somewhere. And then I can bring it back. And then bring it back. Oops. Oops, no. I thought I was evolving and expanding, but actually I was just... playing with that which I do not understand. Oh, I got some down here too. And then let's bring it back down to black. Except for just a very small amount. Just a very small amount. Just bring it all the way back down. Even up here. Just back to black. That's a song, isn't it? Da-da-dee-da-dum. Okay. How are you enjoying this so far? Do you think this is something you want to continue doing? Have a good night. Bob Ross would be proud. Who's leaving? Chico? Chico's leaving? Aw. Computer's actually burning. Take care. Chico, thanks for coming. Bob Ross is your dabbing icon. I see. I bet if you figured out more tricks like this, you could keep up with them. Even if it's not what you thought it would be, you learned a thing. Yeah. And I might be able to incorporate it. Will I keep doing this in the future? I certainly wouldn't mind doing more. I don't know if I would make a regular thing of this, but, you know, every now and then getting to paint a little can be nice. But, you know, also, I hope you guys are enjoying it. And even if you're not watching, you know, if I'm painting and I'm just, you know, a lot of this becomes sort of, I want to say autopilot, where you are making decisions, but they're all kind of the same type of decisions. So it's, I guess with all of my streams, it gives me an opportunity to talk a lot and chat with you guys. I sometimes forget to read the chat, but you know, that's technically what Karen is for, which I can't always count on. But if you guys enjoy it, I wouldn't mind doing more. I don't want to do it if it's like super boring though. You know, like if most people are just okay, yeah, I'll watch more Bob Ross painting, I might do more. But if everyone's like, oh please, this is all you're gonna do, dabbing on stream all night long, it's I don't see it being very interesting in the long run if I do this too much, because it's a lot of the same thing. But I can see it being a good learning experience for me to continue doing more painting like this. So I don't want this to be our last Ross. I will be doing more. It's nice to try new things and then get feedback. So, positive or negative, just throw them my way. I appreciate any of it. I don't know what I'm saying because, like I said, I'm kind of on autopilot right now. Sorry, guys. But just trying to... Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put some, like, warm paints in. He's dabbled in some of this warmer color, this orangey tone. Hey, look at that! That instantly makes it better. Just tossing in a little variant of color to break it up. It instantly makes it more interesting to look at. Oh, look at that! I think he puts it on the edge, on the tips, kind of. I'm not even really looking at his painting anymore. You can't see anything on that tiny screen, but this is a kind of doodling. It's a noodle doodle. Go far out and see. I'm gonna add in some more black here to sort of punch back in that. That orange does a lot. Yeah. One thing that I did in this though that you gotta try and avoid is I just did it on all of them, so it doesn't. It went from adding a pop of interest to now it's just on everything. So I think it's still a little varied enough that it is still adding to the painting, but I did a little too much of it. Could have been a little more pulled back a little more on. Maybe I'll get another one. Maybe I'll get a different, maybe an even lighter orange, and just put it on some of the bushes. Just a few of them like that. Did he put any on this side? Where is he now? Let me play the video. I don't know what he's doing. He's putting in a path. Get it larger to the bottom. Okay, so it goes from... You got a brown paint. It starts here. Bob, you mad genius! What are you doing? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No. He's doing it again. He's doing the mountain thing. Okay. Let me pull that over. That's where the black will help. Make it really small. Okay. I'm gonna grab that color. Did I grab it? Gotta bring it up a bit. I'm gonna put that back in. I covered up a lot of that, so I have to put it back in. Okay. What have you done, you madman, you absolute madman. Bob, what the heck? Now you're just showing off. IDK. I think it still adds. Yeah. Jeez, Karen, do your job. Even if it's not what you thought it would be, you learned a thing. It's nice. I like the sound of the tippy taps. I'm glad it's not annoying. If you don't want to make a regular thing of it, I think you should at least consider it a good backup. Like when you just aren't feeling Pokemon families or animating. It's nice. It's kind of relaxing for me. Hopefully it's relaxing for you. There's gonna be a lot of tippy taps. Yep. It's just how it go. I'm trying to think. Did I do it? Is this what he's done? Does this look like it? Oh, I'm drawing under you again. I'm sorry. Okay. Karen doesn't work with me. Can't get good help these days. Go back in with the black, kind of break it up a bit more. All the way up into there. Bring some of that back in. Up top. Maybe I need to make my brush smaller, bring it up top. Oops. Maybe bring some of this, oops, some of this back down. What's going on? What? Bring some of that back down. Bring some of this back up. Back down. Back up. It's a push and a pull. Yeah. All right. I think getting close. I'm getting close. Make a darker bush over here. I'm gonna make this a darker bush. I'm gonna make this one mostly ochre, or this brown color. That's what it looks like on the screen, doesn't it? And oh, that actually, I like that. Let me make this one mostly that color too. I think having one of them just kind of stand out with the orange breaks it up even more. And yeah, you're right. Even with it all over the place, it's not too bad. It's still adding just a touch of variance. That's really nice. Excellent. You sometimes I just like to congratulate myself. I'm just drawing and it's like, ah, good job. You did it. I don't talk to myself. Do you guys talk to yourself? I know I have friends who say that they like to talk to themselves. And you know, I might be sitting by them and they'll just go like randomly like, what? And they'll start talking to themselves. I don't know if they're doing that because I'm around or if that's just a thing that they do. But I've never had an inner dialogue really that had to come out. It doesn't... I'm wondering... I mostly talk to people. Like even when recording, I can't do pre-recorded content because it's just so weird for me to sit in a room without anyone and talk. I can do streams because my brain tells me someone is listening, that you guys are like real and out there, and it like, you know, I can do that. But if it was just myself, even if I'm making a video, so like technically eventually someone will be watching, the concept that there's this like future audience just doesn't click with me for some reason. It just doesn't work. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Tail says, I talk to myself, but not with art. Ah, maybe with like video games. That's another thing. People who talk to video game characters, I feel like I might do that a little. It's been a long time since I've played a game that, and again, it's like I talk to myself more when someone's watching me play it. It's that like audience mentality. He's kind of covered up a lot of the path, actually. I think I need to bring this further out. I'm skimping on my bushes. I need to bring it a little further out. Okay, maybe another one over here, it looks like. I think he added some more over here that I didn't see. He adds them so quickly, it's hard to notice sometimes. Tails, you should get some homework done. Are you still avoiding your homework? Am I distracting you? I'm sorry. You should congratulate yourself. I talk to myself not with art, but I talk to video games all the time. Video game characters. They're real to me. I'm glad the tapping isn't like super annoying. I'm glad you don't find it super annoying. I might be able to change my settings so that it's not very like prominent, but it's a type of ASMR, I guess. It's an ASMR, a painting ASMR. What I really love listening to is calligraphy pens scratching on paper. Oh man, that stuff, that's the good stuff. Scritch, scritch, scratch. Yeah, noise gate can help block out the tapping, along with noise suppression. I remember you showing me where that was. Whoops! He's going in with sticks, guys. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will leave a lasting impression of self-deprecation and lack of self-worth in my daily thought process through the rest of my life. What? He's done. Oh, he just added a branch and now he's done. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Bob. Come back, Bob. Don't leave me alone. Okay, you can leave me alone. I don't care. I'm gonna add a few more of these things. Oh. There's a commercial. Okay, well, let's see. Where did he add that branch? I think it was like over here somewhere. Let me go back to that. Okay. Just dabbing in those. Okay. Just right here. Just right here, Bob. Ah! Let me zoom in. I can't even control. Can't control it. Something like that. He said I can add a couple of them, so I'm gonna add another one here, maybe another one. No, that's too much. Maybe another one right here. Maybe I can make it darker. Maybe I need to make this one darker. And then he signs it down in the corner here, so I'm gonna break up this path a little more. Oh, I just noticed the time. I am going over a bit. Sorry guys. I lost track, as you do. As you do when you're engrossed in the joy of painting. Lost track of time. But okay, so he always takes a bright red and gives it a little signature right down in the bottom. I don't really have a signature. I'm just making something up. Give me a sec. Something like that, maybe? I don't know. This is my least favorite part of selling art, is you have to like sign it, and I always mess up on the signature. Oh, I have an idea. Like this, and then like this. ZP for Zero Pro. I don't know, Bob. I don't like it. He always puts it in the corner in like red, but I don't know. There's something about the red that like just kind of doesn't work for me. But I'll leave it there because Bob does it. And there's the painting. Hey! I'm looking. I think this part here. Oops. This part right here needs to be a little further down. There. Okay, guys. My very first Bob Ross painting that I've ever done, that I've ever do on stream or anywhere else. Yeah, I've never done one of these even just for fun, so that was good. I like it. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming along and singing a song. And now I'm gonna do a bit of a doodle, because I can't go even one day without drawing Pokemon. You know me. You know the curse. You gotta draw some Pokemon every now and then. Okay, so I told my friend Mouselet that I wanted to draw some Briar today. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna draw a Briar today, and I was gonna do some fun stuff after I drew a Briar, but since we're already over time, I don't want to hold you guys up. Please save. Oh, yes, gotta save. Tails is clapping. Thank you. Thank you. Leo's in the stream. Hello, is the stream over as usual? Thanks for coming by, Leo. Regardless, the joy of painting. You're fine, you're fine. Digital painting. Looks really good. Briar from Fire. Ah, it rhymes. At least I got to see a Pokemon doodle. No, please. Okay. I'm gonna draw Briar as well as I remember. Don't make me face homework. So, I still have my oil painting brush on. Let me switch to my pen. I can't believe Mouse thinks Trico are frogs. There's absolutely nothing about them. Oh man, after all that painting, I can't remember how to draw. How embarrassing. I've lost I'm like a Pokemon. I don't have enough slots to know both the joy of painting and the practicality of line art. So when I do one for too long, I just completely forget how to do the other. I have a crunchy brush selected. That's why the line seems crunchy. I've never really liked Trico before, until the mouse drew it, and I really like the way she draws Trico. But I can't quite remember exactly how her baby girl looks. So some of this might be projection, but I have a feeling it goes straight down rather than bumping out like I want to do. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do a sketch. That's why this is so hard. Sometimes I forget my own process. Got a sketchy sketch. Gotta get that sketchy sketch. Gotta know where the things are. I'm gonna give her this silly pose. She'll be like, what? Wait, how does her belly thing look? Does it go all the way up to her mouth? I can't remember. Does she have this thing? Is that a Trico thing? Do they have that? I don't know anymore. I really want to look up a reference or something, which I could do. Oh, and you guys can watch me look up a reference. Let's look up a reference. Let's go to... Man, I can't use my site. I need to update my site. Finding your roots. Nuzlocke. And yet it still brings us here. I was trying to avoid this. Smack Jeeves. No, not Smack Jeeves. Deviant Art. There she is. There's my angry girl. Yeah! Oh, she's so cute. I gotta redraw it. Tails, what should I make Briar doing? Download the newest site patch directly into your eyeballs. Got a scritchy scratch. Surprise Pikachu face. Yeah! You ruined a perfectly good Mudkip is what you did. Look at it. It's got anxiety. I don't understand how a line can be crunchy, but I find the word delicious. It's like when the edges aren't smooth is what I call crunchy. Trico like frogs. Yeah, but like she likes to draw it like frogs because she thinks it is a frog. I don't want to spend $114 on a parking pass. Don't make me deal with buying parking pass. Where have you been parking then? Daisy Dukes. Boots with the fur. Putting up her dukes. Ready to fight. I don't know what that pose would be. I've never really thought about it before. I kind of want... Huh. I don't know much about boxing. I I feel like the elbows would be in, right? And then that doesn't look powerful though. Maybe I can exaggerate the pose a little bit, make her like lean forward. So you're looking at her more from the top, sort of? Would this arm be coming from up there, though? I just don't know what to do with the other arm. It's like if you've got your arms up, it would just be blocked, I guess. The whole arm would be blocked. Oh, she's got these giant squirrel tails. Giant squirrel tails. Let's move her over, actually. So I have some room for these tails. Got some room for these imp tails. Hey. But I feel for you, Tails. Buying parking passes is not fun. I think our parking passes were like 300 something per year. And there's never any parking spots either. So like you pay for the parking and you can't even find parking. It's like, what did I pay this for? Oh, wait. Gavin, I was knocked out for a bit but woke up again. 300 per year. It's 114 for the quarter. Quarter? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was like 300 something, like 350, 325. I can't remember the exact number, but per quarter, that's ridiculous. You poor soul. I hope it was for a year. I don't remember. I hope it wasn't like half the year. It's been a long time since I've had to pay yearly for parking. Now they just kind of take it out of my paycheck. But, yeah. It's never fun. Her evil grin. Oof. Mm. Sorry guys, this was gonna be quick, but I'm struggling with this pose. Just struggling with the pose. Action has never been an easy thing, both in real life and in art. You're talking to me? You wanna go? I might just keep it as a sketch, actually. It's got a lot of energy to it right now. We just polish it up a bit. Erase some lines that aren't needed. So I'm wondering next week what you guys want to see. Cause I can do one last Pokemon Family before Inktober hits, or I can try to do some Inktober like sketches in preparation, which might just be a lot of me noodling and not getting anything done. And also, you know, in October, I'm going to be streaming Inktober stuff, so it'll be like, we've kind of already seen it. But it could also be interesting if I, like, you know, I can maybe come up with ideas that don't necessarily carry over to the final drawing, or to see how it changes from a digital sketch. Because it's I don't do like full-on illustrations when I'm brainstorming for Inktober. And maybe you guys can help me with the ideas if I do it on stream. So I don't know. The next Pokemon family is the Routes family, I believe. So I know a lot of people like Routes and Gardevoir. Not my favorite family, but also I've never drawn them before. So who knows, it might be one of those families that, like, when I figure out how to draw it, it becomes kind of more endearing. So that's why Mouse gives Briar these, like, webbed feet. Because she thinks it's a frog. Maybe if I just color this whole foot in. Oops. Briar is ready to fight. at all times, at any given moment. She's ready to fight. She's got some speckles. Give her some freckles. Speckle those freckles in, baby. Head isn't that tall. I think it's a little more of this shape. A little more of a curvy top head. Curvy. Okay. Ta-da! I have Adrana Briar. Oh, hi, Mouse. You're actually here. I thought you've gone to sleep like hours ago. Let's check out what you guys are talking about. Upside down smile. Poor Tails. Oh my goodness. They're robbing you. You gotta pay out the nose for an education, and then you also have to pay out the nose to access the education. You work there, you should park for free. Yeah, they make us pay. Leonard says, nah, the post is fine. Gavin says, I feel awful right now. Maybe it's from the dread of the tests. But anyway, what happened while I was out? Zero finished the Bob Ross, now is drawing Briar. Inktober sketches. Okay, so Tails wants to see sketches. Just want to see someone pick Briar by her tails. Gavin says, I want to see Briar beat Cynthia's Garchomp. Ooh, Inktober, or as I like to call it, Leo, that's a good call. Alt name for it. Very accurate. Punches Ralts to the side. Sketches! Wait, what? Trico is a gecko. Briar looks like she crawled out of a gritty-ish shonen anime. She's ready to fight! Mouse! I'm drawing Briar. That's a true statement. Trickles. the Trico freckles. Forgot the word for freckles when I said Trico. Zero, that sounded so guilty. Sketch all my characters. Punches. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just assumed. Wanna noodle one last thing in. So that's the dark green of the tail. Alright, y'all. I think that might do it for tonight. Whenever you talk about someone punching, I now imagine Jet doing it! The freckles have some big Midoriya energy. Yeah, of the when Mouse said Briar looks like she just crawled out of some shonen anime, I thought of My Hero. And she's green. She's gonna be a hero, you guys. Just you wait. She's a bit of a garbage child right now, but just you wait. She's going to grow up into a hero. And I just woke up too. Aw, but I just got here. Sorry, Mouse, but I've already gone overtime like an entire hour, so I think that's it. But I'll show you what I got done for the Bob Ross. How do I zoom? Here we go. Zoom in close. And there you have it. So I got a Bob Ross done, my very first Bob Ross, and I drew a Briar. And I think that's a good stream done. So in any case, I hope you guys had a great time watching me dab paint on an imaginary canvas. Imaginary paint on an imaginary canvas. What a world we live in. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the night. And next week I'll see if I can do some Inktober sketches, get all prepared for Inktober. If I can set up the camera, I might do the Inktober sketches like in like real life. And just like doodle on actual paper. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. All with a totally different tool set. Thank you for the stream. Thanks for the stream. Thanks Tails. Thanks Leonard. Thanks Gavin. Thanks Mouse. Thanks everyone for coming. Chico's gone. Bronze Leaf's gone. But y'all came by, and I appreciate the time that we spend together. We are friends together. Drawn. Well, I'm drawing. I don't know what you guys are doing, but having a good time. Having a good time. Having a good time. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.